Welcome back to our St. Louis Blues rebuild in Franchise Hockey Manager 11. As we start the season off, we have our work cut out for us. Just looking at some of the transactions that we managed to do, we did bring in some signings, but nothing really to write home about. Tai Hale, Jeremy Langlois, and Dichow, all prospects that probably aren't going to end up making our team anyways. They'll probably spend most of their time in the AHL, but they're a little bit younger and they were available as free agents, so we took a chance on them. And even if one of them can play some ice time, it would be nice, but most likely we're going to try and add them to trades and kind of wheel and deal them that way. But we did manage to get some trades. We did sign an extension as well. Jake Neighbors, 3 years, $3 million. Not too great, not too bad either. Trades, though, we were pretty busy. We'll start it off from the bottom. We did get Sachin. Grayson Sachin, he was a second round pick. I thought he was going to be a first round pick from the Panthers. We ended up parting ways with Buchinger, Kapanen, Joseph, Tucker, and the rights to Abramov. So not really the worst thing. It's not really showing us his stats, but just looking at it up and down winger, he should be fine. Scouting, there's no scouting report as well, so I'm just doing it mostly off of memory from other seasons, so that's the best that we can really do. We did get rid of Nick Leddy for a third round pick, not this year, but next year pick from the Rangers. Nick Leddy wasn't really going to be end all be all for us. We did have to move on. He is 33, and I feel as though we could have probably got it like a second, maybe in a first, depending on the team that we end up getting, but we were forced to part ways with them. Ryan Suter we ended up getting before, but we traded him away for Sandin Pellikka, who plays for Red Wings, and just playing in the SHL right now. He was, I believe, a first-round pick, 17th overall in 2023, so we did get rid of Suter, Cranley, Zarenko, Johansson, and a third-round pick in 2026. So pretty much what we end up getting for Nicoletti, we end up packaging up to Red Wings for Pellikka. We then got rid of Buchnevich for a third-round pick from Flyers, and then we ended up getting, somehow we got a second, but 2028 from the Rangers. So a lot of these picks are over the next couple seasons, and I think that we're going to be rebuilding for at least the next 3, maybe even 4, because I feel as though it's going to be a little bit more difficult than what I first thought. A lot of players have no movement clause, no trade clause, so whoever was in charge of them before definitely did not plan on having to rebuild this team. Faxa, we got for a third-round pick to Columbus. I don't think Columbus is going to be that great, so it should be a decent pick. Maybe even like kind of feeling like a late second-rounder. Kiskimaki we end up getting for a 5th. I don't think he's really rated too high. And Perico we end up getting for a 3rd from St. Louis. I did initially say that I didn't want to trade anyone to Winnipeg. I did say initially that we didn't want to trade to any Western teams, but it's way too difficult to be able to only trade to the Eastern Conference. Half the teams that we have to trade from, I think even Robert Thomas, which I am keeping for now. If you look at just his contracts, so I mean, most of the teams probably don't want to have, and most of the teams are in the western side of it. So Jets, Knights, Canucks, Kings, Oilers, and Flames all are in the Western, and there's not too much for the Eastern. But most of these players only want to go to the same exact team. Kyrou doesn't really want to leave either, but it's all the exact same teams as each player. I think Shen as well. For whatever reason, they do want to go to Montreal, even though they're definitely more of a rebuild. But Montreal does not want them, and even if we end up offering them out, no one will even offer us anything for it. The only one that they really want is Bolduc. Broberg, I mean, I feel as though he could play a role this season. We do have our assistant controlling all our lines and stuff like that, so we don't really have a say in this season. If our team ends up doing better than what we anticipated, then we will probably take control of it. But if the preseason is anything to think of, we did not do very good in the preseason. We lost 6-1, 8-2, 7-0. We won 2-1 against Detroit, lost 9-2, won 6-3 against Detroit, and then won against Vegas. But those losses initially do not really scream that we're going to do too well. Taking a look in terms of trade block, there's no one really that's available that's on the younger side. I mean, we could take a chance on Piotr, but I feel as though we're not going to be able to get him. We did make a couple other trades as well, but yeah, it feels though we're not going to be able to get him. But like I said, our assistant is taking control of our team. We end up losing our first game of the season to the Kraken, so not too great. Paranovich ends up scoring Thomas and Holloway before Thomas and Kyrou, but feels though over the next 2 seasons we might part ways with these players. But for whatever it is, this season no one wants to add them to their cap. But I feel as though over the long term we can probably do that and yeah, just part ways with them and kind of build for the future. I don't think we can do a complete teardown season 1. There's just too many injuries and too many no movement clauses, and we kind of got to wait for those teams to be available to take them. So even trade deadline, I feel as though is going to be a little bit important for how we end up handling this. We end up winning against Sharks, but that doesn't really say much. Shen scores, Kessel scores, and where's the other one? Oh, then we end up scoring in overtime. Goal by Laferriere and Kyrou in the shootout. Now we turn our way to Vegas. And Vegas is only 0-1 right now. Yeah, so we tried to make these trades, but nothing having it. They just don't want it. Like, I'll take off. I don't really want to give up picks, though. That doesn't seem what the point of this is. And they just won't budge on it. Gonna remove everyone, actually, and kind of just see if I can do picks for this. So they are willing to entertain us. I do think we can get rid of Hoffer. I don't know if Hoffer ends up actually being that great in this. He is on his last year, so we might end up parting ways with that. For Ethan Gauthier, it's not really showing me anything about him, but he is a 2nd round pick. Hoffer is probably worth a little bit more than that. But the fact that they're willing to... oh, he's a 4th rounder. I just don't see him... let's see how much he would want. He'd only want... we might as well hold on to him, if anything. Yeah, we might not let him go for that. Baldock, I don't think we get rid of for as well. Let's give, like, Dorian. One that's not necessarily that great. We'll give up a bunch of prospects. I think I had Susiev as well. And then the other one that seemed kind of shocking is that New York ended up bringing Kakko through waivers, so obviously they don't really want him. We're trying to make offers for him. He is only, what, $2 million, I'd say, next season. So we do have one more trick up here. Yeah, they don't want anything for him. We try to give a couple rights, and then we'll give up picks as well. Give a 4th rounder here. And of course they think it's a balanced offer, but it doesn't really seem to matter either way. lose 8-4. Hurdle ends up scoring against us, but Kairu scores, Texier, Hugh McGinn, and Shen end up scoring. But the third period, we just got absolutely destroyed. And it doesn't look like this season is going to start off as swimmingly as we were hoping, but definitely don't want to win any games. We don't have any picks other than a first and I think a third. Everything else this season is going to be pretty bad, so we're hoping that our team definitely sucks, and then Rangers as well. No, I think Rangers next season, so we want Winnipeg to not do as well, but it does look like they're 3-0 so far, so I don't think that it's going to go according to plan, and still not budging on it. We can still add one more thing to this, and I don't want to add a player. I'll add another rights to a player that I have no affiliation with. Let's see, Ralph. We'll give up Ralph. And of course they think it's well balanced, but that doesn't seem to matter either way. And did I add it before? I added Colin Ralph to this one as well, so we'll take him off. And then we'll add him. And I think we can add one more. Oh no, we can't. So we'll have to see. Do lose that game as well, 6-2, so at least our AI is doing exactly what we need him to do. But it could be just him starting the same goalie repeatedly over and over again. And we are riddled with injuries to start the season off. So I wouldn't put it past our team to actually start producing a little bit better, but we're gonna end up having to try and make as many trade offers as we can for some of the young players. But we did look briefly at some of the talent, and it just seems like it's a bit rich for us. So there's not going to be much movement that I want after season 1, but hopefully there's enough patience for us to be able to end up getting what we want. And Zarenko, I think that was part of the trade that we ended up doing, but I did look at some of the players, not positional ranking, prospect ranking, there we go. So I did look at some of the players that we might want to get, but I think Green Tree might be a bit too rich for us. Did look decent, at least in terms of the AHL. Nate Danielson, obviously I would want, but feels like he's too expensive. And I think we do have at least Dalibor Dvorsky, but I did try and make an offer for Connor Geeky, but I don't think they want to move on from him at all. Cole Iserman as well looked pretty good, but I think he was a 4th overall, so I think it would take way too much for us to be able to get Columbus to part ways with him. Emil Hemming, what team is he on? I think I've seen him before. He's on Dallas. Yeah, I kind of doubt that he's going to end up joining our team. 5-4 loss in overtime as well. Thomas ends up scoring. Broberg gets his first and second, and then Joseph scores as well. But ultimately, Thomas ends up scoring it, but not enough to be able to secure the victory there. At least we're bottom of the Central. But it does look like that there's worse teams than ours, if you could believe it. We're even trying to offer a 4th round pick. How do they not want him? But I guess we'll kind of just ignore that. Pay more attention to the trade block and free agency. Sam Reinhart is now all of a sudden on it. That seems kind of wild. I thought they liked him, but apparently not. There's not many decent prospects there. It does add on the more as the season goes, but Flyers are the only other team that are worse off. Sharks as well. We do have 3 points. Oilers, surprisingly, are 1-4. That is crazy. 1-4. Canucks are 1-3. That is insane. Not many teams are doing too good. Toronto at the bottom, not like how they're doing in this season, where they're actually at the top of the division. Albeit they're probably not going to stay there for the long term, but that's just me being pessimistic. I think Caesarea we might take off here. Might add. I have no attachments to any of these prospects. So we'll just end up having to see. Go to Carolina here, lose 4-3. So what I like to see, Thomas ends up scoring, Baldock and Joseph end up scoring here. Now I think we're going to probably emphasize more so on speed. I'm going to add a couple rules as we end up getting this series underway. But it feels though we're going to add a couple things to make it a little bit more difficult once the rebuild is in full swing. I don't want to give up too much right away, but it will involve us trading our better players. We can have a couple players that we can save each season, but we'll end up having to make difficult decisions throughout this. So I think we'll just add maybe another pick. I don't want to part ways with picks. Fifth rounders don't really matter that much to me. I think I've only grabbed, I think 3 or 4 throughout the whole save that I did with the Flyers and focusing on Michkov. Do lose 3-2 here as well. In regulation, Joseph scores both goals. I thought Joseph was bad. He's a lefty and now has 4 goals. Probably our top point getter. We now go to Toronto and we desperately want to lose this one. Looks like they're turning their first half of the first couple games around, and oh no, I thought that was us. Oh, some 16-year-olds look like they could be decent, but I did, like I said, to save time and focus, I did give most of this duties to our assistant. We end up scoring with Alexandrov. He gets his first. Baldock scores his second and third. Torbchenko gets his first. And then same thing with Pierre Oliver. Joseph scoring again his 5th. That is crazy. Maybe his stats can increase, and they still don't want to. We're giving up a decent amount of picks for this guy, and we don't even know if he's going to be that good. We're just kind of taking a chance on him, so maybe we have to give up something a little bit more rich. I don't want to give up Fisher. We'll give up Gizek. We'll see if that's good enough, but I kind of doubt it. We did start going through each team's depth charts, and there's a couple that stuck out. I think we stopped at Tampa trying to get Gauthier, but didn't seem like it's really a possibility. But if you look at our prospects, we do have Palika and Sachin as our 2 top ones. So the 2 transactions that we did seems like it was the right move. We do have our first, and then Philly's 3rd, Winnipeg's 3rd, and Columbus's 3rd this season. We have our 5th and we have Islanders 5th, and then we have our 6th. Next season we do have, still don't have a 2nd there as well. We do have Rangers and our 4th, and then Penguins 5th and our 5th as well. But nothing really that crazy. But at least we have we do have depth here. Palika is already our 3rd best player, but we can't really see his stats as well, which is kind of annoying. But we'll kind of take a look at some of these teams, and hopefully we can get like a trade going soon. We did manage to get Catton in other saves. Burkus does look interesting. He was a 2nd round pick, pretty much a 1st. And yeah, they don't want any of our players. So Lucas Fisher, I do know that I did like at one point, but we'll even part ways with him. Mersic, I think we want, and Snutterud as well. Can't go wrong with too many centers, I guess. And then we do want to keep Linston. Anyone that's kind of young still, do want to keep. And we'll give them picks as well. Probably after like 3 or 4 seasons. Give up a 6 as well. Kind of doubt that they'll do it. But you never really know. 1, 6, and 1 so far. Utah, we could... I don't know Harabel. But he's a goalie. I'm not too sold on too many goalies turning things around. Or being pretty good in terms of long term. They usually end up saying that they're big prospects, but half the time they don't really pan out, and it's a bit of a gamble. I'd rather draft one and kind of take my chance that way. Matthew Cataford, 10 points in 13 games. I don't think I really want that. We're obviously looking more so at the top. Andrew Cristal, I could see ourselves trying to get him. 15 points in 12 games in the AHL, or WHL. He was a second-round pick. They obviously don't want to part ways with us, or part ways with him. Yeah, they obviously wouldn't want Krug as well. Krug would want to go there regardless. Godet. Kind of curious as to what they actually need, though. They need a center and a goalie. Bennington won't go. Oh, Bennington will go there. Alright. If we can wheel and deal this one, that would be fantastic. Let's add some stuff to sweeten the pot here. Obviously, we want as many picks for the draft next season. Give up a 4th and a 6th. See if we can sway them. I kind of doubt that we can, because I think Cristal is a little bit better than what we have to offer. It doesn't seem like they're even really budging. We'll make the offer, but I feel as though it's not going to end up standing. We'll try. Ottawa has Yamanchuk. I think we need a lefty. If we can get a lefty, that'd be great. But nothing really jumping out at us. EJ Emery. Pukinen. Or Pulkinen. It's not really jumping out off the page there. New Jersey, Casey, and then Saliev. Don't think we can get him. Molendijk, Nashville. Feels though they wouldn't want to part ways with them, or at least trade him to a divisional team. So he won't really push that. Wallstead, height, no. Green tree. Let's try that. They won't give up anything for him. We're going to still try our best. It does look like Thomas is our top guy at 4.5 star, but that could also be because our team is particularly terrible. Alright, so we'd have to give up probably a decent pick. Give up Rangers 3rd. Still don't want anything. Give up Ralph again. And I feel as though this is them pretty much saying that they're not interested at all. So we're not going to be able to get him. Take a look at some of the other teams. See if anything really jumps out. Mathieu Savoie is also one of those players that we would probably try and get if we could, but he is playing for them now, so I feel as though that's less than likely. Trey Augustin for Detroit wouldn't be a bad idea getting a goalie. Kane Lindstrom, I think that was the one that we were looking at before, but he was a early pick. I highly doubt that we'd be able to get him. Matachuk, 59 grade in the AHL. Not something that's really writing to write home about. Svozil as well. I think we've had him before in the past. Colorado, I think I can't trade for Colorado. Then Carolina, Artemonov. No, I don't think we can. Don't think we can get him. Or maybe we can trade for the rights. Let's see. I didn't realize that they didn't sign him yet. They also have a goalie too, a German goalie. He is only 1 star, so I doubt that he ends up actually turning into something. They'll go for Joel Hofer. I think we might have to make that deal. Right, left. Unless Joel Hofer is supposed to be something crazy. But, I mean, we might as well take a chance. There's always goalies out there. We'll take a chance at this one. This one could bite us in the end, for sure. But if they want Joel Hofer, I will do that. We'll see if they end up actually accepting the trade. We lose this game as well. Alexandrov, McGing end up scoring there, and now we get another injury, but I don't think we have to worry about that. I think our AI should be able to handle that. So amongst 9 games, we're just going to wait to see that trade go through. And then we'll probably jump to the trade deadline for next episode and see if we can manage to add some more trades to it and see if we can be a little bit more busy. Yeah, they don't want to give us anything. I can't believe they say that it's close to being alright, but it's not. How is this one close to being alright? They didn't even say anything on it. Make this work. Bolduc and Hofer. So do we want Furcus? Or do we want I think we can maybe wheel and deal this one. Let's give up someone that's actually playing for us this season. Alright, we'll offer him. I kind of doubt that we can get anything for Tampa. I don't think we can get Ethan Gauthier. 4th. Okay, so maybe give up something a little bit better than a 4th. I don't want to give up Rangers 3rd. We'll give our 3rd. Okay, fine. They're going to accept this one. We probably gave up too much for him, but I do think over the next little while we'll be able to add way more players. So they do accept it for Hofer. I feel as though we're going to regret this one. We're going to take the chance anyways. And Washington still doesn't want... Oh no, this one's the one that they wouldn't be able to take. Okay, that's fine. So we managed to at least make that trade with Carolina. And we do have to bring up someone. Do have to bring up Dechow, who is only a 1 star. 955 though in the AHL, so not too bad. We lose 6-0, so this is, like I said, this is going to be as bad as we possibly can go. And hopefully that means that some of the players will end up leaving. New Jersey is 11-1. Rangers are 7-2. But how 11-2 now? But still, that is insane. And even Dallas is not doing that great. We do make another trade, so at least we got that. We do end up parting ways with a decent amount of picks, though. But I do think Ethan Gauthier could be good. I think we at least get maybe a 2nd rounder for him if he doesn't end up panning out. But we're going to complete this trade. We're going to take that gamble. And at least we managed to get a decent amount of value, though. A lot of players that I don't think that were going to play for us anyways. Yeah, it doesn't... If you just look at his stats, he's definitely not going to play for us. He's 20 and only half a star. And then William McIsaac, I don't think we really need his services. His determination just wasn't really jumping out at us either way. And he is 18, but I don't think we really end up giving up that much for him. Yeah, he's a 5th round pick, so it is what it is. And now I think we probably have to make some other adjustments. But we'll look at our depth chart now, and at least we have. He's in the KHL, so at least we have the top 4 players that we end up now acquiring are on our team now. Over the next couple of years, let's look at if we have to actually sign them though. So we have till 2028 for Nikita Artemonov, which isn't bad. And then Gracie Sachin, 2025. So we'll look at it more so in order actually before we end up logging off here. So we have next season that we'll have to bring in Grayson Sachin, but he should be at least a 2.5 star next season. And Snutterud, at least we have him as well, but a couple more years to develop, so that's not too bad. I do think most of the other players are signed with us, I guess, even though we did trade for the rights for them. Yeah, we should be able to get those players over the next season, and I mean, I do like where this team is headed so far. It's going to be still difficult to get rid of $8 million, well, $16 million worth of contract, but they're still young, so we don't necessarily have to part ways with them. I would say Brain Chen we do want to get rid of as quickly as possible. Same thing with Sod. As soon as he's healthy, we'll end up offering him out as well. But we might wait to the trade deadline to do that. And then also Torrey Krug, if he ever ends up playing for us, we'll end up letting him go. But Broberg looks like he's our top lefty, and our top righty is probably Jurasek at the moment, until we end up bringing up some of our other players, but like Palika, who will probably dominate for us for sure on the right wing or right D there. But hopefully you guys like this episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have anything that you want to add to this series, feel free to let me know, and I'll definitely do as much of a deep dive as I can in whatever your requests are. So thank you for watching. Until next time.